Hey, Wayne Keller here with stop number 2 on this season's cyclocross vessel buildup. Today we're going to talk about some wolf tooth components like their drop stop 36 tooth 1x front chain ring and their Gnar Wolf front chain guide, along with some of their bling products like their headset spacers and their ultralight top cap that's got spacers built into it. Let's check it. So this is the wolf tooth drop stop 36 tooth 1x front chain ring. Super solid, deep teeth, 100%. These are the anodized wolf tooth chainring bolts. Nice because they take a 6mm hex on the back, a 4mm on the front. You can snug them up tight so they're not coming loose, and they're easy to get off without destroying them. And this is the Gnar Wolf braze-on front guide. It's got a lot of sweet features. Take your 4mm hex. If you ever need to get your chain off or the chain wheel off in a hurry, you take off this bolt right there in the top. It comes out, and the whole assembly just flips up completely out of the way. So sano. Drop it back down again. Grab your bolt. It's got a self-centering chamfer in there. Twist it back on. You're good to go. One of the nice things about the chain guide is it's got a tremendous amount of adjustability. So in cross, you run with your bike. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what you do. You run with your bike. So the chain's bouncing up and down, the pedal's poking you in the kidney, and you want to get it over with. Anyway, the chain's bouncing, cranks move backwards. Normally that means a drop chain all the way down to the bottom bracket shell. This has enough adjustability in it where if the chain does come off, it'll stop right there. It doesn't hit the shell. You jump back on your bike, you start cranking, and you're off. It's simple, it's solid, it's 100%. Let's go now. You can always stay up to date on the website, mynameiswayne.com, for rambling commentary, blurry photos, race reports, ride reports, how-tos, the whole bit. Also on Instagram at 2PageWayne for some varied interest stuff. Everything from back in the day BMX to Cuba travels to the normal self-aggrandizing nonsense. Now we're going to go into the step-by-step installation of the wolf tooth components, complete with horrible lighting and cheesy voiceover. Get ready for that. Okay, so here's the setup with the Gnar Wolf guide, the drop stop chain wheel, and the anodized chain wheel bolts. You can see in the background the old setup. Those old bolts, I've hated that style since the 70s. They've just got a slot in the back, and it's always been a wrestling match putting a screwdriver through your palm. The wolf tooth setup is rad. It takes a 6mm hex on the back, a 4 on the front. You can snug them up tight, and you can get them off without destroying it, and they just look freaking rad. So to put the Shimano cranks into the Super X, I needed the Wheels Manufacturing BB30 to 24mm spindle adapter. It's got a tight tolerance on the spindle on both sides. It's a rather brilliant setup, really, that it doesn't require any hammers, cursing, or excessive arm waving. Everything you just squeeze together with your hands. It fits nice and snug. Slide the other crank arm on. Get your favorite Shimano butterfly tool there for the end cap. Snug it up tight. Now let's talk about the Gnar Wolf front chain guide. It's offered in both a braze-on mount like you see here, and then also one with a clamp that goes around your seat tube. The braze-on's super rad because it's got a big beveled edge on the front, which allows for a tremendous amount of adjustability with your chain line. So on the initial setup of the cranks, I had them a little bit too far outboard, removed a couple spacers on the inside, and got it all dialed in nicely. Yeah, so most carbon forks have this aluminum wedge-o-matic thing jammed inside the steer tube. And it has this oversized aluminum lock nut that goes on the outside. It's pretty much fugly. Wolf Tooth has this Sano top cap with the spacer built into it. I replaced the bolt in the top and added in a little spring to hold tension on it, snugged it up. It works solid and looks frickin' rad.
That's beautiful, Dad.
Yeah, the wolf tooth components install super easy. They work 100%. They've got lots of adjustability and they'll get the job done. Now we're going to take a peek at some Fernery Cross, top secret ninja training ground, right here in the armpit of Florida.
Hit it! Let's go now! racket.
Yeah, the Wolf Tooth components work super good, and they work exceptionally well with the Gnar shifters we covered in the first video. I also want to thank these guys for helping us out this season. They're not afraid to take chances, they're not afraid to go against the grain, and they get the job done. Check it. Hey, Wayne Keller here with stop number 2. Wow, do you hear those crickets? Really, guys? Is that necessary?